Today is Juneteenth in the United States, which is the day that celebrates the end of slavery in this country. Several states are now making it an official holiday in the wake of the George Floyd killing and the demands for racial justice. Changes are happening this week as companies are making major announcements about how they will change their products, what they will actually do, from names to logos. Some of these products have been around for decades. So, for instance, Quaker Oats is ending the Aunt Jemima and acknowledges its racist roots. Old Aunt Jemima was a song from the racist minstrel shows when white performers wore blackface. Mars is to evolve Uncle Ben's rice, suggestive of black servitude. The term aunt and uncle were used by slave owners for older slaves. And eventually, following that, cream of wheat and Mrs. Butterworths are also changing things. Richard Edelman is with me, the chief executive of Edelman. Well, we're in an interesting environment here, Richard. I need your guidance here, because when you advise clients, how do you advise them not just to be token? For example, I do question the purpose of the Bank of England bringing down portraits of governors whose businesses had relationships in the 18th century with the slave trade. I don't know what good it does to today's issue.
I think that brands are actually in a moment when they need to be the leaders of change. And the move by Quaker Oats and Mars this week is to correct history. But there are others that are actually taking quite affirmative steps. So, for example, Dove is running a campaign where they are saying that they want women to be able to wear hairstyles of any sort. It's called the Crown Act. And they're also running a campaign for their men's product this weekend, which is Father's Day Taken, about excessive jail term and policing. So that's activism for brands, and I think it's the right moment to do that, because we've just come out of the field with a study, Richard, that shows that a brand can earn 4 times more trust by stepping up and speaking up and acting on systemic racism than it can by standing down and keeping their heads down.
Why is this different than previous times of racial tensions and a sort of a things must change view? In the 30-odd years that I've been in and around the United States, I've seen several times when people have said, this is the moment. No, this is the moment. Well, tell me, Richard, why is now different?
Because we've been locked down for a period of months, because we have record unemployment levels, particularly among black people, and because it's now a accumulation of police violence, George Floyd being just the latest, going back to Ferguson, going back to Rodney King.
Right.
And it's also the moment in politics when you've got a highly contentious election just brewing. So all of these things have added up to a moment in time when
right.
brands have every opportunity to seize the moment and do something, because actually more than 2/3 of people now say that they'll buy or boycott a brand based on whether it speaks up and acts on systemic racism. That's a stunning number. That's from a survey taken last week, and it's across white, black, Hispanic, etc., across all groups.
As I read some of these statements from CEOs, I found some of them toe-curling. I found some of them cringeworthy, because they were saying what they felt needed to be said, but one knows within their own companies there's racial discord. There are employees that do not feel at ease. And I question, Richard, the discrepancy between public statements and corporate policies. The two have to marry up.
There's no doubt that the first order of business for companies is to fix your own house and to make commitments and actually be sure that you have people of color on boards, senior executives from Black, Hispanic, and other communities, and make sure that all of your policies, such as making sure that you have minority-owned small business in your supply chain, that you actually go to primarily Black colleges and other places to recruit, that you make it a very friendly workplace for people of color. All of those are absolutely fundamental to change in America. Business has to lead this change. Government can mandate, but business will make it happen.
Richard, it is always good to have you on the programme, sir. I'm very grateful that you've given us time tonight. Have a good weekend. Thank you.